Thursday edition of All About Sports on ESPN 97.7 FM. The WREF, all of our guests on the Brinkers Jewelers Hotline. Valentine's Day right around the corner. Pick out that unique gift, that little green box, an Evansville tradition since 1972. It's Brinkers Jewelers at the corner of Green River Road and the Lloyd Expressway, or online at brinkersjewelers.com. Well, obviously this winter at the Ford Center, not a whole lot going on other than college basketball. There was no hockey, and, of course, the Southern Professional Hockey League, there are some games in the league, but the Thunderbolts are not playing. But we thought we'd like to catch up with the head coach, Jeff Bes, and just see kind of what's going on within the organization. So he joins us on the Brinkers Jewelers Hotline. And, Jeff, obviously I wish we were talking about games and series coming up this weekend, but that's not the case. First and foremost, how have you been, and hopefully been able to avoid this virus?
Hey, and yeah, great to be on here. I've been very fortunate to avoid the virus, and my family's doing well. But we wish we were playing hockey, and wish we were talking about our power play or our penalty killer, what we need to be doing differently at this point. But obviously, circumstances have us where we opted out of the season this year. So we're going to be ready and strong going for 2021-22 season, and definitely looking forward to it. That's for sure, Dan. I'll be honest with you. And I hope everybody else out there has been doing well and been able to stay clear or have mild cases of this virus.
All right. Well, Jeff, obviously, the last time we talked, the thing was shut down, and the team played really well last year, on the verge of the playoffs. I think maybe even had already been qualified for the playoffs. I just said it was back in March, and I know we had a little bit of the season left to go, but I know that you guys were battling for maybe a first round home series. I think, if my memory serves me correct. So, it was a special season last year. You guys were playing really well, especially there at the end when everything really kind of got shut down. I know it was a big disappointment, but just kind of refresh our mind. You guys had a pretty good season and were playing pretty well when everything kind of came to a halt in March, weren't you?
Oh man, we were just hitting our stride. Obviously, last season we had a lot of change at the start of the season, and we had to grow, and we went with a young group. And by the point in March when everything was going on, we had won 15 out of our 18 games, last 18 games. And we were just clicking. We were 2 points out of third place, which would have gave us home ice advantage. With 9 games left in the season, the top 14 would have had home ice advantage for playoffs. We were right there battling for that. And our guys were really buying into what we were doing in our organization. The strides that we had made, the positive strides. The fans were excited. There was a lot of electricity, and we were generating a good buzz in the city as well. And the support was there. As you could see, our crowds were even growing. So, yeah, there was a lot of empty feelings and a little bit of, with the players especially, unfinished business, I guess, is a good term too, where, everything just ended so abruptly that, there was playoffs, and there was such great hope for our team and our group and our organization that the way it ended, it just kind of left everybody, as you put it, empty. So, in talking with them all summer, everybody was quite excited about coming back, and certainly we couldn't play this season, due to circumstances out of everyone's control. So yeah, it's been hard. Obviously, a tough pill to swallow for our players and ourselves. Now, there's some guys playing in the league right now, and I know our die-hard season ticket holders are following them. We got a couple guys playing in Knoxville and a couple guys playing in Huntsville as well, just to keep them going so they can keep playing. They got to make a paycheck as well. So, it's great to see them playing. Wish we were, mind you, but our goal now is to be, to keep building on the progress that we had and all the excitement that we generated, and keep building on that, and resume and get that excitement back and buzz throughout the city. Starting now. I'm going to be reaching out to season ticket holders and our corporate partners, and we're going to get full steam ahead here, getting moving forward and towards our 2021 season, which will start in October.
Jeff Bes joining us here on the Thursday edition of All About Sports Hockey for the Evansville Thunderbolts, the head coach. And so, Jeff, maybe just kind of take us through those discussions, when the league kind of got together over the summertime, and they were talking about, okay, are we going to have a season? Maybe certainly by the wintertime, things might be a little bit better. We can play. I mean, how did it all go? And was there ever any thoughts as far as the Evansville franchise? Because I guess teams that are playing are kind of down south, but maybe just take us through those discussions with upper management of the Thunderbolts and ultimately how that decision was reached not to play this year.
Yeah, well, we all wanted to play. We were all excited. As I just touched on with everything that we had generated and created now. And we discussed it, and there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, especially with the testing and to make sure these athletes and more importantly, human beings, these players that we have, we're a family. We want to keep them healthy. We did not want to put them in a situation, that compromised their health. And ultimately, we couldn't have any more. At the time, we just couldn't have people in the building, and our season ticket holders, and our partners, and our fans come in the building. So, those are some of the small things. Obviously, it was just a big decision on our organization how we wanted to proceed, and it was with great regret that we decided that it's not. But hindsight is probably the best thing that we could have done. One, to keep the athletes healthy, our players healthy, and keep the and keep them safe. Obviously, we weren't able with what's going on with the arena. With our season ticket holders, we're not capable of hosting a lot of fans at the present time. So ultimately, we've been playing probably in empty buildings, and I'm sure you see on TV the NHL's playing, and they're playing, and it's great to see them. Don't get me wrong, and it's great to watch NHL hockey, but it's still a little bit odd seeing it with no fans there, or very, very limited fans. And, hopefully by October, we're banking on the fact that we'll be able to have fans, and we'll be able to cheer on our great Evansville Thunderbolts at the Ford Center.
Well, I tell you what, yeah, those fan cutouts, there's just not a replacement for live fans in the buildings. Obviously the music pipe, been able to watch a lot of it, and certainly all the playoffs and stuff over the course of the summer. But I agree with you 100%, Jeff. There's just the sport of hockey as far as live attendance. It's just really kind of unmatched as far as I'm concerned. But, well, then let me ask you this. You've got a couple of players, as you said, that are playing right now in an abbreviated SPHL as far as the number of teams and things. So these young men, are they still right now under contract with the Thunderbolts? And, I mean, you want to have these kids play, but then I'm sure there's probably in the back of your mind, it's like, just don't go down there and get hurt.
I keep in contact with them, periodically, just to make sure they're doing okay. And but the way the league set it up is we're given the teams that opted out of the season. There was 5 teams, so there's 5 teams playing in the SPHL and 5 teams that opted out. And, it's just the way it went. And so those players under our protected list, we were allowed to protect 13 players. So the players under our protected list will be able to eat that. For 21-22. Now, they're capable and they're able. We're not going to tell them, if we're not playing, you can't play. We wouldn't want to do that and, stifle anybody's opportunity to play hockey and to move up the ladder and, hopefully one day get to the NHL, which everybody dreams of. So they're able to go play as a free agent this season, and now we keep their rights if they decide that they want to play come 2021-22. Then those 13 players that we had on our protected list way back in March, and if you test me now, I'll probably get 10 or 12 of them right. I might miss one, but it's been so long. But they will be under our they will be protected by us and will be part of the Thunderbolts organization. So they choose to play.
Okay, so as you talk about, you'll be in Evansville here in a couple of weeks and try to get things going with regard to off the ice. Things with regard to season tickets and corporate sponsorships and kind of getting all that and convincing all of these folks that, hopefully the puck will drop in October and there will be a complete season starting here in, about 8 months. So with regard to your team and personnel, you talk about the protected list. Just from that standpoint, Jeff, is it too early right now to start, kind of filling out the roster? How many guys do you think right now you want to bring to training camp, or is that just something you got to wait and see what the spring and summer brings with regard to this virus and vaccines?
Probably a little bit of both. I've obviously been in contact with coaches and, all throughout hockey right now. The major junior leagues still haven't started to play in Ontario or Western Canada. A little bit limited in the Quebec League. So some college teams have not started to play yet this season as well. Some are playing at limited time, but I'm definitely in contact with a lot of coaches that, and with players that it could be prospective players in this upcoming season. But it'll all play out. I certainly looked at, we'll probably bring 30 players to training camp, 25, 30 players to training camp, and then we'll knock it down like we do every season, down into about the 21 range, and we'll carry 21 players. Out of that 13 that are protected, some guys aren't playing this year. They might have, decided to take the year off, and it just wasn't there, wasn't comfortable playing, and then found their, lifelong job, and it might not be hockey. And, to that, we wish them all the best and support them as well, and thank them for being part of the Evansville Thunderbolts organization. It's 6-1, half dozen the other. I'm still working and trying to make sure that we're going to have a quality team on the ice, and as a head coach, that's what you want to do. That's what you live for, right? Talking to players and wanting to build the best team possible. But also, we want to get out there and we want to utilize it. I'm going to be utilizing the same things as I'm recruiting the players, talking with our corporate partners and talking with our season ticket holders, and assuring them that we're going to be playing, and making them feel just as comfortable as our players when they're in town, because we need them and their support just as much as they need us, and that's why it becomes such a great partnership. And I think we can give that outlet to everybody to come watch good quality hockey, because people are looking, and I know I am, are looking to do something in a safe environment, and I think we'll be able to, and I know we'll be able to provide that come October. So there's a lot of excitement out there, growing, and we want to keep growing it and build it. So we're ready to go in October. There's a lot of things that we can do, especially with bringing new players in and some of the old players. We have the reigning MVP of the league, actually, Plevy, who's under our protected list. To name one who's playing right now in Knoxville, who could be a great candidate to be coming back and playing for us in the upcoming season. But we just gotta trudge forward and keep working and keep the excitement building, and get it out there and let everybody know that we're excited, and we want to be a part of it, and we want to work together with the community of Evansville to give some good quality entertainment.
Sounds great, Jeff. Jeff Bes joining us here on the Thursday edition of All About Sports. Before I let you go, just as we move forward now, in the SPHL, kind of concludes this season, the 2021. Are there any, and I'm probably not really hard dates, but I mean, just looking ahead now to the spring, and again, where this virus is with regard to the vaccines and everything else, has the league really kind of set dates or guidelines or things, Jeff, that you want to follow as far as the spring league meetings and putting schedules together? Because, certainly, obviously, you do that kind of well in advance, too. So, and a lot of things going on, and even though you're not playing, I know you're extremely busy, but maybe dates that fans can kind of maybe put on their calendars. Okay, well, hey, if we hit on by this specific date, we feel pretty good about, being back at the Ford Center in October watching hockey.
Yeah, that's a little bit fluid right now, Dan, to be honest with you. Obviously, the 5 teams are playing right now, and there's been a few cases where, they've had to postpone a few games, just like every professional league and any sport playing right now due to contracting the virus, and to keep everybody safe and healthy. And it is a shortened season that they're playing in the SPHL at the present time. So that's going to conclude by the end of April, start of May. Similar to what it would be previous seasons, maybe the end of May. So we're going to be looking towards June, July, where we're going to start, there'll be player signings and getting forward into that. But it's a little premature to talk about hardcore dates at the present time. They still got to get through their season, and it might be delayed. It might be pushed back a week or two just due to some teams and some cancellations of games that they got to get in and finish up for the season. But definitely be looking for a start, late October as per what I'm told for 21-22 season, similar to what we have done in previous years up until this season. All
right. Well, it's good catching up with you. Glad everything's well, family's safe, and we just wish you all the best. I know you're excited to get back to town here and start kind of putting everything together for the 21-22 season, Jeff. But, yeah, appreciate your time as always, and look forward to further conversations with you as we get a little bit closer to hopefully the start of the season.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate it. And again, I'm looking forward to getting up there and talking with our great supporters and our fantastic partners. And we'll touch base here periodically, probably monthly, I guess, just for updates and keep everybody updated. And if something comes up, I'll be sure to contact you so we can get it out there and keep our fans and partners in the know. So everybody knows what's going on, and we look forward to a 21-22 season in Evansville Thunderbolts at the Port Center.
All right, Jeff, all the best. We'll talk to you soon. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. Appreciate it.
All right, that's Jeff Bes. We'll come back with more of this edition of All About Sports right after this on ESPN 97.7 FM, The Ref.